The glyphs on the holographic interface were amber, the color of caution. Asher traced a stabilization rune with his fingertips, the light warm and grainy against his skin. His breath fogged in the cramped, cold air of the utility tunnel, each exhale a small cloud in the eerie glow of the nutrient tank. Inside, the Lattice pulsed. It was his life's work, his heresy, his only hope. A grotesque and beautiful tangle of bioengineered neurons, it floated in the amniotic fluid like a ghost of a nervous system, lit from within by a constellation of soft, sparking synapses. To the corporate bioengineers in Galehaven's gleaming verdant archaeologies, it would be an abomination. To Asher, it was the cure. His sister, Liana, had been 7 when the synaptic fade began. First, it took memories, the name of her favorite toy, the taste of real fruit gelatin. Then it took motor control. The Agrogen specialists in their pristine labs had offered only sympathy and a managed care plan. Unprofitable to pursue a cure, the official message had stated, a death sentence wrapped in corporate decorum. A dissonant shriek, sharp and digital, erupted from the interface. The amber glyphs shattered into a screaming crimson. But this wasn't an external power surge. The error message was far worse. Memory matrix corruption, synaptic collapse imminent. Through the holographic field, a single agonizing flicker of a memory bled through. Liana's laughter, not as he had remembered it, but distorted and sharp as breaking glass. Asher's heart seized. He looked at the tank. The Lattice was convulsing, its neural pathways firing erratically, not from a power spike, but from an internal nightmare. The consciousness he was trying to build was tearing itself apart. "No, no, no," he whispered, shoving the holographic display aside and lunging for the tank's manual control panel, wrenching the cover off. Wires and coolant tubes spilled out like metallic guts. The Lattice thrashed, slamming against the curved plasteel of the tank. A spiderweb of cracks appeared near the top seal. He knew the source of the instability had to be the dirty power he was siphoning from the gray zone grid. Its fluctuations were poison to the delicate consciousness he was nurturing. He ignored the alarms, his eyes locked on the corrupted data stream. Amid the static, he could see it, the ghost of Liana's face, her features dissolving. Panic was a luxury he couldn't afford. His fingers found the primary synaptic modulator, a dial that controlled the very frequency of thought. He wasn't just soothing a storm, he was performing psychic surgery. With infinitesimal care, he began to turn it, his gaze fixed on the fractured memory. He was tuning out the noise, the pain, the chaos, trying to find the one pure frequency of that memory, the unique resonance of her joy. The distorted shriek of her laughter softened. The static around her image receded, and the screaming glyphs on his interface mellowed to a steady amber. With his other hand, he grabbed the thick, insulated cable for the main power feed. With a grunt, he yanked it free. For a terrifying heartbeat, the tunnel was plunged into absolute darkness. The only sound was the frantic thumping of his own heart and the hiss of the cracked tank. Then, a soft, blue-white light began to glow from within the cylinder. The Lattice. It was alive, running on its own power. Its frantic energy storm had subsided into a slow, steady, rhythmic pulse. Calm. Stable. Asher slumped to the floor, his body trembling with adrenaline and exhaustion. He stared into the tank at the impossible thing he had created. It wasn't a monster. It was a promise. In the soft, pulsing light of the Lattice, he saw not a biological anomaly, but the faint, shimmering outline of a future for his sister. And for the first time in a long time, he felt the undeniable glow of hope.